It's another dumb
Hello, welcome to another Dumb Show. I'm another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on this special edition of another Dumb Show. It is a Superman 2025 review. I'm so glad to have you guys all here with me on another Dumb Show. I hope you guys have had a great day. It's been a couple days since we've talked, so I hope you've had a good couple days. I have had a great couple. Well, man, I tell you what, I had a little scare. Nothing major as far as like, family or health or, but just work stuff, man. I had a customer that I hadn't heard from. A couple weeks ago, I had a couple who, they canceled their wedding inexplicably, right when their final payment was due. So I was out like a huge chunk of money. And then the next week, I didn't hear back from the girl when their due by date was going on. And then, and so I was freaking out thinking I wasn't going to get any money at all. And then she finally paid. So God, thank God. And I booked another wedding. So things are good. Things are good. So yeah, it started ugly yesterday, ended on a high note, had a great night at karaoke last night. You guys got to check that out. Parma Pit Stop, Wednesday nights, 10 to 1. We went 10 to 2 last night. We had a great time. Everybody was great. So, all right. Make sure you take a minute to hit the thumbs up, like this issue, episode, whatever the hell we're calling it. Shout out to, well, Boomer was first with the emoji, but I'm going to give some love to Jeremy because he was actually technically first and he got in there with the first like as well. So big ups to Jeremy. Thank you so much. And also thanks to Boomer too. And all you guys for coming to hang out today. So like I mentioned, we are going to have a special guest on the show today. This is a man that I met a while back. Oh, look at that. I was just spraying some air freshener because the cat had diarrhea and it smelled like straight up trash in here. Anyway, not trashy, very classy. A man that I met when I was working on the old morning show. He was a frequent caller into the show. You guys might recognize him or recognize his voice from the show. He frequently calls in with, I think we've referred to him as many things over the years. We've called him by his actual name. I think when he's calling in for his job, he goes by the type of job he has. We'll call him Caller X, for example, when he's calling about work-related things and such. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you my buddy. It's probably going to pop up and say Mikey unless I changed it. Let's see. Oh, it does say Craig. Look at that. What's up, Craig? It's good to have you, man.
Hey,
how are you?
Good.
Good. I know you had a busy day today. You have your main job that you do, and then you do some side gigs, putting up mailboxes and putting in fans for people and basically all kinds of, around the house stuff.
Handyman stuff.
Handyman stuff. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
What are you on one of those sites where people can find you, or is it all word of mouth or both?
Word of mouth. Word of mouth. I live in a big development and we have a Facebook page and, you'd have wives or whatever, like, does anyone know how to hang a shelf? And I'd be like, yeah, I can. And then that turned into gazebos and garbage disposals and mounting TVs and sump pumps and
Oh,
and
wow.
it's my mess around money.
Good. Yeah, I was going to say that's how you afford all that fun stuff that you have behind you. As you can see, while he has a Superman logo over his head, I probably should have put it over my head to be honest with you, because while he does care about Superman and the DC world, he's more of a Batman guy. Here, I'll give you the full zoom out where you can see his couch there, and he's got all the Bat. That's true. He's got how many Batman tattoos do you have, dude?
A lot. I don't know how this works because it's like mirrored image. I'm trying to
Yeah,
see.
it's hard to tell. Yeah,
Here,
you got to work backwards. Oh yeah, look at that.
yeah. So
So you got all the different series there. You got different comics,
yeah.
different animated series. That's awesome. So what are you up to? Probably 10? Got 10
Oh, more than
bat
that. I my
more, you got it on your legs and
well, my whole
everything too?
legs. My whole leg's done too. That's
Wow.
the villains are on my leg. The heroes and all the different variations of Batman are on my arm.
That's cool. Yeah, my I have a couple Superman tattoos. I guess I probably should show this one off since we're showing off tattoos. That's one
Yay!
yeah, it is lame. I created it myself. I drew it when I was 18.
I'm only
Uh,
messing with you.
no, it is lame, but it means a lot to me.
Well, I just tell you.
Uh,
I just tell you it's lame because it's Superman. Batman's better than Superman.
well, we'll talk plenty about that here as we dive into our Superman 2025 review. Um, what do you think? I guess we should start with diving into just kind of some of the basics of the movie because we've both seen it now. I've seen it twice. How about you?
I've seen it twice.
Twice. I saw it at two different theaters, and interestingly, two very different experiences. The first one I saw it was at a local theater that's pretty good as far as the screen and the seats are comfortable and all that good stuff. It's right around the corner from me, and I didn't realize it, but we actually saw it in 3D. Sorry, I have a fly problem right now, so it's gross. Anyway, it was funny because we were watching the previews, and they were all normal previews. Then towards the end, they got all blurry. And I went, "Oh shit, is this a 3D movie?" So I had to run out and I asked the concessions people. I go, "Is this movie a 3D movie? Do I need 3D glasses?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I was able to run and get us some glasses real quick. So we only missed half of the Fantastic Four preview. And then excuse me, we were able to jump in and seeing Superman in 3D was pretty cool. But the second time around, while it wasn't in 3D, it was on a bigger screen. And thanks to your recommendation, I tried out this other theater where they have these seats with speakers in the seats. But man, does that
They
add a different dynamic to
they
the movie?
when I went to the premiere was like it initially was invite only,
Yeah.
and a lot of it was for the extras that filmed here in Cleveland, and they had it in three of the theaters. And the owner of the theater of that theater chain, because he knew this was a big one, he showed up and he had a little speech beforehand. But those speakers you're talking about, they affectionately call them butt thumpers.
Well, it makes sense because it's funny because I went to go see it the second time at the theater with the speakers with my mom, and when the first because they do the Dolby Atmos
Oh yeah.
whatever it's called the
It's
presentation
like
of it.
this. It's like this is Dolby Atmos, full immersive screen. And
Exactly,
it's
and it starts
yep.
swooshing and swooshing and everything, and then my mom went woo. She got all excited for a sec, so that was pretty funny.
Oh, and then it's like, and then it gets to that point of that demo where it's like the full power of nature, and the like lights go out, and then just the rain and lightning and thunder hit, and you hear it all over, and your seats rocking.
It's
I
awesome.
That's my new favorite. That's my new favorite theater.
I love it, except I'm a Coke products guy. I don't like regular Pepsi. I like regular Coke. So that was the problem. The
We'll
only
just sneak
problem
it
I
in.
had. So I had to drink Mountain Dew. So I was all jacked up on Mountain Dew. So yeah, two different
I'm jacked up on
experiences.
Mountain Dew, Chip.
I did enjoy seeing it in 3D. It had a lot more layers and depth, and it wasn't like things flying in your face or anything like that. It just kind of added depth to everything that was going on. It was a good it was good in 3D. I think I just saw in the chat that Blue Wolverine. He said he just left the theater. He watched it in 3D. Awesome, good stuff. So, all right, let's jump into this shit. So Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn. The second time around, I got a message from James Gunn before the movie started. Did they run that at yours?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it was weird that the first time I went to see it, they didn't play that, and then the second time I went to see it, I actually got that message, and it was neat because I go ahead.
Oh, because I went to the premiere, I had a message at the premiere, which was him just saying, "Oh, we loved filming in Cleveland
Yep.
and stuff like that." And then the second one was like it's almost the same, saying the same thing, but it was just like thanks for coming out to the movies, and we really enjoyed filming here and then in Cincinnati
Yeah.
where they did the Hall of Justice scene and stuff like that.
Yep, that's the one I got to see. So it was pretty cool because I saw Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise did a message before that, which I thought was
Oh,
pretty cool.
well, that's because Tom is big into people coming back from the theater. It's like, COVID's over. You don't got to be sheltered at home. Come back out. That's what we make our money on, and it's not even about Tom making his wallet even fatter. It's just like, at the end where it says this film it hired 30,000 people and this is an industry and when people don't go out to the theater and spend some money, the industry suffers. So
Right.
that's just Tom Cruise always super big into like, yeah, let's get everyone back,
I
That's
did a
why Top Gun Maverick was so huge because it was a major reason to get people back. And look at how Top Gun Maverick came and was so popular at the theater.
Yeah, and it does make a big difference. I because you get out of the habit of going to the theater sometimes because it's so easy just to get
Yeah.
them waited out sometimes and watch them at home because we all have big ass TV screens at home now. But the theater experience definitely is it's a must do kind of thing. You got to go to the theater see, especially movies you want to see, like something like
Yeah.
Superman 2025. So it was 2 hours 22 minutes. I thought the time was good. I left me wanting more. I felt like I these movies are never long enough. I could sit there for 8 hours and watch Superman just constant. I want the story to go on and on and on. So um,
Well, Roger Ebert always said a good movie is never long enough and a crappy movie is way too long.
that's a good. That's very good. He's a smart man. Now you've reviewed. You used to do your own kind of movie review thing. Did you do it on YouTube or just do it casually, or
No,
where
I
were you
could.
doing that at?
I was website and I wrote
Facebook?
my reviews and then yeah and then once I realized I couldn't compete with YouTube, I actually was it's like the difference between magazines and TikTok now. Everyone know print is dead.
Yeah, nobody wants to
You
read
know
anything. That's for sure.
yeah
Nobody's.
so
I'm not reading anything. I'll tell you that much. I'm lazy though. So it did really good at the box office too. I think it was the number one movie. It did according to my numbers here. I could be wrong. 187 million domestic, 398 million global. It's just outrageous numbers for the first weekend. I know that I don't know how that compares to like the biggest movies ever opening. I don't know anything about that, but seems like
well
some pretty good.
for DC it's a nice rebound. I mean I we've talked in the past. I mean I liked Man of Steel. I liked Batman v Superman, and it was where the critics and people just didn't get it
Right.
because it wasn't Marvel. Having a win for Warner Brothers slash DC, that's what they needed.
Yeah, I think this was the first movie for DC Studios, right? The new DC Studios.
Yep,
That's what I
yep.
thought.
The
Okay.
DCU now. The old stuff, the Zack Snyder stuff was the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. Now
Extended
this is just the
universe,
straight up, or the Gunverse, is
which
some
is
people
so,
calling it.
which is the Gunverse. That's I think
But
that's
yeah, the Snyderverse. Now you got the
yeah.
Gunverse.
Yeah, I think that's, but the Snyderverse, that's, I don't know, you're taking away from the Snyderverse. And we'll talk more about that, the comparisons between this movie and Man of Steel. I definitely want to get into that. So let's break down the cast, character by character, get a vibe for how we felt about them. Obviously, let's start with the big man, playing two characters, three if you count Kal-El. David Cornsweet, he's the main man. He played Clark Kent, Superman, and Kal-El. Superman, Kal-El, the same thing, same person, I suppose. All the same person, just all different alter egos, names, whatever you want to go by. I guess really the only people that call him Kal-El are the robots in the movie, and and if I didn't mention this, there will be this is spoiler filled, and I have it in the title, so good. If you didn't read it, it's your own fault. But yeah, this will be full of spoilers.
I
Um,
mean, it's already been out for a week. If you haven't seen it, did you really want to see it?
yeah, right, exactly. I guess I wanted to see it, seeing it twice at this point. So, um, uh, let's see. Let's start with this portrayal of Clark Kent. I I feel like we needed more Clark Kent. There was not a lot of Clark Kent in this movie. I mean, it was essentially just him doing the usual walking through the crowd. I mean, that's like the obligatory Clark Kent scene. He has to be fumbling his way through a crowd, holding stuff that's, he's got a bag and the coffee and the newspaper, and that's in every Superman movie, I feel like. And it almost kind of like has to be to kind of show the difference between, the big, strong Superman and then the fumbling, bumbling Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Uh,
He was like that. I don't think he was too extreme fumbly bumbly. Like he
th-
was, very casual and had definitely used a different voice when he was Clark.
mhm.
Maybe a little bit higher pitched. I mean, it was fumbly, but not so bad this time around.
Not as, yeah, I
Like
agree, not as pronounced as it has been in other movies, because he was actually almost a little mouthy, which was kind of strange. You know what I mean? Because he's
yeah,
supposed to be so farm boyish when he's playing
and
Clark
then
Kent.
yeah, yeah. But then there's like Clark Kent at the Daily Planet, Clark Kent interacting with Lois Lane.
Now that's a great. I'm glad you brought that up, because that was kind of where I was going next. In that scene, I decided that I was not watching while he was wearing Clark Kent's clothes. I felt like he was Superman Kal-El in that scene. He was not Clark Kent, even though he
But he
was
would, but he would
in and out.
he would he would change inflections and go from like Boy Scout to boyfriend, like depending on. He's like,
Yeah,
wait a minute, you can't say about this, you can't say this. Where he when he knew it was being recorded, he had the Superman voice. But when he would catch her, like, wait, it's like we talked about this, and I thought it was subtle, but it was really good where you
it
could
is.
tell the difference.
Now that you mentioned it, I actually can hear it when the now that I've seen it, I can hear what you're talking about. So that's actually a really good point. So yes, a decent job playing Clark Kent. Would like to have seen a little bit more. I did think that it's funny. I saw it the second time around, like I mentioned with my mom. She said that he looked so hot and sexy in that scene in their apartment when he was just wearing. He goes, and all he had on was a white T-shirt and some pants, and he looked so hot and sexy. And I was like, and I was sitting there thinking the whole time, going, man, he does look hot and sexy. She's not lying. He looked great. So he definitely, because I heard he put on 45 pounds of muscle, or at least 45 pounds of weight to play Superman. And I believe that because I saw him in Twisters.
Yeah, twisters.
Yeah. And he was obviously bigger. And I didn't really realize how big he was until they showed him next to Glenn Powell. And he was like towering over Glenn Powell, if I remember, or at least some of the other cast members. He was really tall, but I was like, he's a little thin. But he
I
definitely
saw
worked
twisters,
out.
but I don't remember it.
There was just one scene towards the end where he was standing next to a bunch of other castmates, and he was just way taller than everybody else. And I went, oh, okay, he's a big dude. But yeah, he put on a lot of muscle, I thought, because he looked the part. He put on the suit well. We'll talk
I
about
like
the
the
suit.
suit.
Yeah, we'll talk about the suit in a second, but I just want to talk about him as Superman. Um, I loved it. I thought he embodied the character so well. He was, um, he held himself very well. His shoulders were bigger. He was taller and more powerful looking when he put that suit
Yeah,
on.
good. Like it was like good posture. Like chest out posture. I don't want to say regal, but definitely like when a professional wrestler is standing to do a promo, so to speak.
Right.
They're they got an attitude and how they carry themselves,
Well,
you
that's a
know.
kind of reminiscent of what's, because Siegel and Schuster, they based Superman off of the strongmen from circuses who were
Correct.
bending barbells on their big, huge barrel chests and everything. So that was great to see him kind of embody that and do that in the suit. And the visuals of him flying were great. They looked. It was funny. I remember leading up to it, they had the weird fisheye lens shot of him flying, where everybody was like kind of saying he looked kind of his eyeballs were kind of pointing out the wrong ways. I think they fixed that in the movie because I didn't notice it in the movie. I was a little frustrated. We didn't get enough of the arm out flying. I saw it happen one time, and they did make it very prominent and obvious when he did it. But anytime he was flying, for the most part, his arms were back while he was flying, which is cool. But I like the arm out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a dork. When I got married the first time, when I walked in and they announced, we walked into the Superman music, and when they said my name, I walked in like this, like I was flying in. What a dork. Anyway,
I do not disagree.
yeah, it was pretty dorky. It was lame. It was really lame. I don't think one person there thought it was cool except me. Um, Disaster is asking in the chat, did anyone feel like he is a clone of Christopher Reeve? No, I didn't really feel that. I mean, they may have some resemblances, strong jawline, nice dark hair, blue eyes, the usual. He
If
had
if
all those things.
if anything, I thought Brandon Routh, if I'm saying that, Brandon Routh, I thought his portrayal was more Christopher Reeve-esque.
Yeah, and I think that was on purpose because that was like a in
Yeah.
between two and three, right? I think, or in between one and
Yeah,
two. I can't remember.
it was supposed to be a true sequel to, I think, Superman 2.
Yeah, yeah. So, because there was some weird between two and three. I think there was a lot of it went with Richard Donner leading into the next one. It didn't. He didn't get the right cut that he
Yeah.
wanted, and all. Yeah, there was all kinds of weird stuff with that. But anyway, back to this Superman 2025.
If
I
a-
thought,
if anyone was a clone, if anyone was a clone, I used to when they first announced David as Superman, and they would show his picture, and then they would show Henry Cavill right next to him, and they're like that was more of the clone when you saw the face wise,
yeah,
because I remember him saying, "When you get Superman from Wish."
yeah. Well, it's later on in the movie. Remind me when we talk about Ultraman. That something about the clone thing because there's actually a little bit more to that I thought too. Um, so overall, he played the character very well. I was very happy with it. I love the way it was about saving everything. Even down to him saving a fucking chipmunk or a squirrel or whatever.
The
That was,
squirrel.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that was awesome. I mean, Superman saved cats out of trees in the comic books and stuff. So, I mean, that's right out of the Silver Age of Superman. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed that very much. Um, Superman and we talked about this before. I wanted more beat some ass out of Superman. I have to say I was, initially when I first saw the preview, the trailer, and it started with Superman having his ass beat. I went, here we fucking go again. It's going to be 2 hours of Superman getting beat up, and then maybe he beats somebody up in the next movie, and I'll get lucky for that because I am craving a Superman beatdown of somebody, and which is stupid because I know I'm never going to get it because every time he beats somebody up, he always says, "You don't have to do this. You could stop. We don't have to fight." He always tries to stop him, which is great because it's so Superman, and they even put that in this movie. Um, but yeah, and you had a good point that it really he has to get his ass beat. You said because it shows his resilience and the fact that he's going to keep getting back up like Rocky. You got to keep getting back up.
Right.
So against the big guys, like these are smaller bad guys, but you start getting up against the universe bad guys where we're dealing with Darkseid and Doomsday and stuff like that. You got to be able to take a beating.
Well, it's also proper movie. The first act is introduction and plot. What's going on. Second act is conflict, and third act is resolution. So it's, it's, you got to get, it's also too is Superman is always thought of as a god. The fact that he can bleed and be hurt kind of makes him, that he's not, infallible, he, and I think if anything, his major weakness is just that he's got a big heart,
Yeah,
you
oh
know,
yeah, definitely his biggest weakness. Is that
yeah,
he it's always about doing the right thing, which is
yeah,
a good weakness to have, I suppose, in the long run.
yeah.
But yeah, it's his
Well,
biggest.
yeah, way back when it was Batman v Superman, and they were interviewing Ben Affleck, and they're like, "How can Batman even possibly beat Superman? It's Superman." And Ben Affleck said, "Well, it's because deep down, Batman's not a good guy. Superman is,
Yeah,
and Batman will know how to exploit his kindness for weakness, so to
yeah,
speak."
no, that's a great point, and they definitely they did that in Man of Steel for sure. All right, let's keep going down the list. We'll kind of blow through the rest of these. Rachel Brosnahan playing Lois Lane, the love interest of Clark Kent and Superman. Oh, real quick before we say that, before I go into her, I loved the very beginning of the movie. I mentioned him getting beat up, but one thing I did love was we didn't get an origin story other than one line. It was all we needed. Everybody knows the story of fucking Superman at this point. Let's just give, I mean, maybe little kids could want to see it. It, might have been a little bit better for little kids to get the whole origin story, but I thought it was great. It was interesting the way they did it with the 30 years, 3 days,
Well,
three
it's like three
minutes.
centuries,
Yeah.
yeah, three
Uh,
centuries metahumans came to Earth, and
It was a
you
great
know,
way to set the whole movie up very quickly and not get wrapped up in spending 25 minutes of what it was like on Krypton when it started blowing up and blah, 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 blah. The
well, I
usual
think
stuff.
even James Gunn said is we don't need to see the pearls hitting the ground. We know how Batman started. We don't need to see a radioactive spider to bite Peter Parker. We know how that happened. It's like we know this now. And if you really want to know, then read the comic books or watch the old movies. It's time to move
And,
on now. We're
and
tired of,
don't
reboots
worry.
where they got to re-show. They got to spend an hour just, you know, Martha died, and we could just get right into ass whooping.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was great the way they did that. Just one first scene, 3, 4, 5 sentences, and bang, we're into it. Do you think there's any Easter eggish thing with the threes in there at all? I
I was
couldn't pull
thinking that
anything.
too. The Trinity, the only thing, the Trinity: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
That's pretty good. I like that.
If that's, I mean, that's the big three of DC. So maybe he was just going off of the three.
Okay, that's a good point. I like that. All right, because I couldn't come up with anything, so at least there's something there. All right, so Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan. Boy, you sent me a picture of her. There it is. I was just about to pull it up. Yeah, I think I can actually
I was
pull
like,
that. Let me see if I have
yeah,
that phone link.
it's
Let
like,
me see.
hello, Miss Lane.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that's what you said when you sent it to me. Yeah, she was.
It reminds me of the Haley Atwell pictures when she's on the red carpet.
Who's Haley Atwell? I don't even know who that is.
Um, Agent Carter, um, Captain America's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's pretty. So yeah, here's that picture actually. That's Rachel Brosnahan. Boy, she certainly did not look like that in Superman. They made her, not that she looked bad or anything, but they unsexied her quite a bit, I'd say, with she had loose shirts on with a vest over it and big flowy kind of bell-bottomy pants. Um, she definitely did not look like this at all. There was no cleavage. I had no idea she was sporting puppies like that, so good for her. Um, anyway, at the risk of sounding like too much of a creep, her performance was not as stern as I'm used to from Lois Lane. I usually kind of see her being a little bit more mean, a little. I think Lois can be. I think at times, and I didn't really pick up on that a little bit. She was a little maybe pushy is the word I'm looking for. Um,
Assertive.
Assertive, pushy. I didn't catch that out of her too much in this character, and that's. But one thing I did love was the way they incorporated her, like the animated series when they had her flying the
Ve-
fucking spaceship. That was so cool. I was like, that's right out of the fucking animated Superman animated series. There it is, the T Craft. Excuse me. That was so cool when she started flying that. I was like, this is fucking sweet. I mean, I could almost see her doing it in one of the cartoons. Like I can almost envision it.
ve- Very Dana Delaney-esque. Even like the end scene when they're about to go kiss at the arcade.
Yeah.
Um, they pulled the colors off. Like I saw side by side comparisons. They used like the Lois Lane animated series color palette for her. So she had like the purple blouse and
Yes. Yes. This was great. It was great. Um, so yeah, Lois played.
you got you got the right guy on the show today because I know all this stupid crap.
No, I know that's that dude. Trust me, there's a reason why I wanted to have you on because I know that you are. I mean, you're going to be able to help me here in a minute too. So, like Lex, let's just go ahead because Lois, I would say overall, very good. I liked Lois; she was great. I mean, the only thing I would have liked a little bit more assertiveness, and that's about
Just
it.
thank God she wasn't Margot Kidder. Just like how many times Superman had to catch her from falling and then catch her while holding onto a helicopter and then just that screaming stuff. They you know
That was
if
nice.
Lois
They had her
I would
save
say
him. She saved him.
yeah,
I mean, she
yeah, and I
organized the Justice Gang to go save him. So that was pretty cool. I liked that too.
yeah.
Um,
And it's okay that Superman needs saved every once in a while.
yeah, that's a hard pill for me to swallow. It really is. I because I look at him as being so just godlike that it's hard for me to accept that. But I've coming
Well,
this movie is helping me come around to that, I believe, because
well,
it's
when
go
your
ahead.
weakness is a rock, you know, people find that rock, you know.
It's true. But like you said though, his weakness though truly though is his he doesn't expect you to throw something on his face and try to choke him out and shove nanobites into your eyeballs and down your throat. He doesn't think you're going to do
That
that.
was wicked.
It was
That was wicked. Like, why didn't anyone think of this before?
it was great. It was great. But it's funny though, like we give Batman the credit for always being so crafty and ingenious and outsmarting the bad guys, but Superman's got he's got a brain up there. His brain works, he's not always necessarily brawn. He does come up like the way he got out of that with you creating the friction number one. Then going up to the point because he knew what Lex would do. He would have him envelop him completely, and then he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna turn myself into a fucking bomb. And then just come straight fucking down. That was fucking sweet. I was like, Superman just outsmarted. Well, those are two pretty dumb bad guys, Ultraman and the Engineer. So um, on to the villains. Two of Lex Luthor's creations we just mentioned, the Engineer and Ultraman, created by Nicholas Hoult, who played Lex Luthor. There's Ultraman, and there's a lot to unpack with Ultraman. Jesus Christ, holy crap. Lex overall, standard Lex, I would say.
Um,
I didn't get him crying at
yes,
the end. I didn't feel that was I don't see Lex Luthor crying, which maybe that's been in a comic and I didn't see it before, but
I think this is a different show of Lex. You figure Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor's was all about like real estate schemes,
yeah. Well, so
you
was
know,
this one. So
and
was this
Superman.
one.
No, no,
Well,
well,
he
kind
admitted
of.
it was, but it wasn't. He admitted at the end he made the whole thing
Yeah,
up just to be able to get Superman and
I think this one was, once again, that's always compared to the animated series, but the animated series is the standard. Just like Batman, the animated series is the standard, and that's the standard that every like you couldn't have like X-Men the animated series if Batman the animated series wasn't created, which then spun off Superman and then Justice League Unlimited, and that's where DC always had the strength, was the animated, as where Marvel had live action. Um, this Lex, just to me, was envy. Envy was his motivation. He would be like, why, I'm Lex Luthor. Why can't I be Superman? And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that, and maybe they didn't get into maybe type of things like other Lex Luthors have done, which is develop Metropolis, um, philanthropy, this and that, where he should be like, I should be getting this adoration, but this alien is getting it.
Yeah, yeah, no,
You
you're
know,
absolutely right. He mentioned that in the envy part in the movie. So I thought they did take it up a notch with him to show how brutally evil and bad he is with the part with
oh,
the falafel guy. That caught me off
yep.
guard. I was expecting something to come along to save that guy. I think that was like the one part of the movie where James Gunn was like, we got to put a little bit of push. I know we're not going for an R rating, but let's throw something in here that's going to kind of push the envelope for what this movie is, because it's not violent per se. It's certainly not gory by any means or anything like that. But that was a pretty, without
It's
being
got
gory.
Marvel violence. It's
Yeah.
got Marvel violence.
Yeah.
The
Fighting and
Marvel,
punching. And
yeah, the Marvel movies, a lot of people die in the Marvel movies. So,
that's
you
true.
know,
I guess I don't really keep track of that. I know some people keep does Batman kill? Does Batman not kill? Superman killed Zod and Man of Steel. Like, I actually don't give a flying fuck if they kill anybody, as long as there's a fucking justified reason to for good
well,
overall. I kind of usually
yeah,
give them a pass, especially Batman.
yeah. I've I've made friends with a DC director of the animated shows. His name is Jay Oliver, and I met him because I reviewed the Dark Knight Returns animated movies. And on my review, he wrote, "Thanks for reviewing my movie." I'm like, "What?" And then that turned into a Facebook friendship.
Cool.
But for like Zack Snyder, he was the storyboard artist. So
Oh, I know.
long
Didn't
story
he
short,
draw? He drew the him pulling the ship, right, with the
the
big
boat,
giant
yeah,
chains. Yeah, that's
correct.
awesome. That's awesome.
Anyway, talking with Jay and the whole Zod neck breaking thing, a lot of people, they must just watch the action and not hear dialogue, because Zod specifically in that battle says there's only one way this battle will ever end. One of us has to die. I'm either killing you and then I'm about to rule the world,
Yeah,
and everything you know of Earth and your family and your friends, and basically Earth culture will be gone, you know, or you got to kill me.
yeah,
And so it left Superman no choice. So the whole thing, like,
yeah,
oh, he snapped his neck. He's like, he did, and then he cried because he just lost what he felt was maybe his last inkling of humanity.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
what did you say? Nobody stays good forever, right?
yeah.
So, speaking of that, we brought up his just a second ago. Did we just bring up his parents somehow? Did that just come up? Something just made me think of his parents and this scene in this movie, and that I
Martha.
would. Well, I don't know what it was, but anyway, I would say that I have a couple gripes with this movie, and I already mentioned it. I want Superman to beat more ass. But number two, the big, the overarch, the entire plot essentially that it was wrapped around. It was, I thought the whole plot with Jarhanpur and Boravia and all that, little flimsy, little typical comic
Well,
book flimsy. It
Well,
wasn't.
they couldn't say Israel and Palestine.
Yes, it was quite obvious what and there were so many political undertones to this movie that are, if you're an idiot if you didn't see all of them. They're there for sure. And we could talk a little bit more about those too. Because that's what my mom said when she saw Lex. She goes, all I could think of is Elon Musk the whole time. She goes, instead I just sat there thinking, this is Elon Musk. So, but with his, my second gripe with this movie is the change of the canon of his biological parents. Um,
James Gunn talked about that.
did he? Okay, because I am having a hard time with that. I really am. I'm really having a hard time with, if you know, and if this is a major spoiler for the movie, so if you haven't seen it, don't listen. Um, so in the past, Jor-El and Lara, right? Isn't that Kara or Lara? Kara is Supergirl. Lara is his mom. They they obviously send him here in the capsule. Then Krypton explodes. They always send a message with him, and the message is usually, "You're good. You're a good boy. We love you. Do good in the new world that you're going to." Okay, that was so. In this one, he got that message, and that's what made him be Superman and do all these wonderful, great things that Superman does. But the message was damaged, and halfway through, it cuts off. Then, so somehow Lex ends up breaking into the Fortress of Solitude. He uses the engineer to hack Superman's computer, and she somehow fixes the second half of the message. And the second half of the message goes on to say, take on as many wives as you can and rule the world. Make it your world. Basically,
And
it's
then like,
turn it.
and then dispose of those who do not follow you.
Exactly. So that is a little bit of, so that's just straight up the opposite of what we all know of the origin of Superman. It's supposedly his biological parents are the reason why he is as good as he is through that message.
Yeah.
And they've completely
James Gunn
flipped
said,
that.
yeah, well, James Gunn said it has been done in the comics before.
Okay.
So when he wanted, because his major reason was, um, and this is what kind of got me a little bit, was, you know, it was the message that you don't have to be who your parents are. And as someone who has a survivor of childhood of trauma,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what your parents are doesn't necessarily make you who you are as long as you make the right decisions. And
Right.
I think that's what it was, you know, can Clark, you know, stay with, you know, what's he going to be? Is he going to be Kryptonian or is he going to be an Earthling? And, you know, that's what was always the anchor was Ma and Paul Kent
Yeah.
was, you know, because even once again, even in Man of Steel, bring it up, and they're like, "Oh, we, you know, we're tracking you and stuff." He goes, "I'm from Kansas. I'm okay," you know. Um, and I think it was just, I mean, it was very shocking because I'm like, "Oh, that's a fake message. That ain't real." And they're like, even Mr. Terrific's like, "No, no, no, it's a real message." And I think that was his internal conflict, and that's why he needed to go back to the farm. And just his dad saying, "Listen, you know, you got to make the right decisions. You know, we can only, you know, it's like we can lead a horse to water, but you got to make the decisions to drink or not. You know, and just because, you know, you got asshole parents doesn't mean you got to be an asshole."
Boy, did I cry in that scene. Whew. Holy shit, man. I was like, I'm getting choked up now. I was sobbing. I mean, like I was like I couldn't catch my breath. It was like, oh my god, it was so moving to me. That
Clark's
because
Clark's outside eating some cereal, and here comes Dad.
I'm a
Which
big I'm a
did you recognize who the dad was?
no. Is he someone in Superman lore? I'm not sure actually.
No, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. The actor is the actor who played the priest in Constantine, the Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah.
He's the one that drank himself in the convenience store to
Oh
death.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Oh, good call. What a great movie that is too. Those are awesome. They're making
Oh,
another one of those,
oh,
aren't they? Another.
Keanu Reeves is like, please, I want to do another Constantine. He wants to do Constantine so bad,
Yeah, they got to do that. Those are great. That was a great movie.
but he's he's John Wicked up right now.
I guess I'm kind of over John Wick to be honest with you. It was so cool at first. But you want to hear a funny John Wick story? I can't remember which one it was, but I went to see John Wick, and there was a woman in the seat right in either next to me or right in front of me where every time he would kill somebody, she would go, "Oh, oh my god, oh, oh," and then like he stabbed somebody, and she went, "Oh, now with a knife, oh." She was like the whole movie. It was unbelievable. Like she didn't know what she
Wait
was
about
going to see.
wait till you see the three dudes with the pencil.
Yeah, it was good. God, you remember so many details from movies. I don't know how you do it. Um,
I'm an only
so
child.
I think, well, now that now that I've heard that it has been in the comics before, I guess I just have to accept that that's something that they can throw in there as part of the story. So I'll have to look up and maybe see which comic that was, because I did Google which comic books James Gunn took storylines from for this one, and it gave, quite a few different things that he pulled it together from. And it was an interesting article, actually. I read the whole thing. I don't read a lot of friggin' articles, but I read that whole article, and it was pretty good.
Believe it or not, too, and it could be James Gunn thinking is, well, if we make them kind of bad where Superman doesn't want to deal with them, guess what? We don't have to put him in future movies. We can concentrate on Earth and the Justice League and getting everyone going.
Yeah. I think I like James Gunn. I was really unsure about where he was going to go with this whole thing, but he seems to have a defined, similar to what Zack Snyder seemed to have a defined direction he wanted to go with everything. It seems as though James Gunn is kind of on that same route. He's got an idea of where he wants this to go.
As long as Warner Brothers doesn't mess with it. That's what they messed with Zack Snyder. They didn't, they're
What?
like, listen, see all this Marvel cash? We want that.
Right.
So make us that. And then after they saw Watchmen, they're like, oh, well, Zack Snyder must know how to do multi superhero storylines. Let's give it all to Zack. And Zack's like, well, I can do that, but after once critics destroyed Batman v Superman, they
Yeah.
they basically pulled the plug, brought Josh Whedon because they were like, well, Josh
Which
Whedon, he can do Avengers,
which I'll
so
never
let him
understand.
do.
I thought Batman versus Superman was fucking great. I don't understand why people hate it so much. I mean, we got a fight scene between Batman and Superman. That alone makes the movie worth the price of admission. I mean, what the fuck,
What
guys?
what
We all been
I
waiting
what
for
I
that
didn't
forever.
get,
And you
yeah,
dorks got your
it's
win. You
yeah,
Batman dorks got your
it's
win.
yeah, it's because in order to really, in my opinion, to really appreciate Batman v Superman, you had to know a little bit about comics. Not it wasn't spoon fed like all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Like you had, like I watched it and was like, oh, okay, there's the Dark Knight.
There's
Oh,
the dark.
that's
Exactly.
Flashpoint. That's Flashpoint. Oh, that's Doomsday. And you could, like, he put a whole bunch of different stories into one. When I
Yeah.
left that theater, I was like, people are not going to like this. I love it, but people, they're not going to understand it.
Well,
And the people upset that Batman and Superman were fighting, it's like, where was that anger when Captain America and Iron Man were fighting?
right.
And
Exactly.
then also, once again, you didn't watch the animated series because the world's finest movie. The first time Batman and Superman meet, they didn't like each
No,
other.
they don't get along very well. No, they have
Right.
their relationship grows over time as they learn to respect each other. I mean, there's no getting around that with the two of them. They earn each
I, I,
other's
I think
respect.
it's I think it's because they both have the same end game.
Mm.
Superman just doesn't like how Batman gets to that end game.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And Batman, same thing. He doesn't like the way Superman operates. He thinks Superman's a big dummy pussy.
Boy
uh,
Scout.
big,
He's a
yeah,
Boy Scout.
yeah. You're right. You're right. And just like you said, he'll exploit that if he has to. So, all right. So we got through the parents and my beef with that. The Justice. You mentioned Mr. Terrific. So let's talk the Justice Gang, which is eventually going to become the Justice Society or a Justice League. I honestly am not familiar enough. I'll be honest with you, never heard of fucking Guy Gardner before. I know Hal
Oh
Jordan and
yeah,
what
yeah.
Steve
Guy,
Rogers. Those are the other two. Never heard
yeah.
of Guy Gardner.
Steve Rogers. That's Captain America.
Or no,
It's
what?
it's Hal
What's
Jordan.
Hal Jordan? What's the other guy?
Okay, you have Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern that everyone knows. He's the
Yeah,
one that gets the ring from Abin Sur.
yeah. What's
Um, then you have you have Kyle Rayner,
Kyle Rayner.
Then you have Jon Stewart,
That's the name I
and
was
you have
looking for. There you go. Hold
yeah,
on, I unplugged my
the Jon
headphones. I can't
Stewart.
hear shit.
The
Hold on.
yeah.
I got to get a longer cord for this. If I move, it unplugs. So wait, we left off of Kyle Rayner, and then so Jon Stewart must be the one. I somehow that's a name that made me think of Steve
Jon Stewart,
Rogers.
as affectionately known as the Black Green Lantern.
Right. So I'm way off. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. See,
Yeah.
apparently I don't know much about the lanterns. I do know they do cool shit. That ring is sweet, and I love the fact that it's
Yeah.
based on their will and whatever they, basically how strong their
Yeah.
will is
It's like
how strong
Guy
their
Gardner's.
powers are.
It's like, yeah, it's like Guy Gardner. They're like, "Aren't you helping?" And he's like, "I made oven mitts. What are you talking about?"
He did cool stuff. Like
Guy.
he put that big what is it? The big what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Like,
not mask, but like
yeah,
giant thing over that monster's
muzzle.
face to keep a muzzle. Yeah, there you go. Put a giant muzzle over that fucking monster's face. That was awesome. The middle fingers when he's flipping tanks. That
Yeah.
was so fucking cool. I
Yeah.
loved it. He was a
Like-
great character.
He's like,
Yeah, it was awesome. He was cool. I loved when him and Superman got face to face. That was really fun.
and Guy Gardner has that ridiculous haircut.
Yep.
He's always had that like bowl cut. That's why I think I sent you a long time ago was Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber had the same haircut. Jim Carrey as Guy Lloyd Christmas as Guy Gardner.
Why do you think they went with this Green Lantern versus the more popular ones?
Because they are developing the Lanterns TV show with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Hal Jordan is played by the coach from Friday Night Lights, Kyle guy.
Oh yeah,
It's like his actor. He's the actor that's in every movie, but you never know his name.
yeah, that guy's good. I know you're talking exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's because why? Because they're actually doing a Lanterns TV show.
Okay, so instead of wouldn't it have made sense to incorporate one of the TV shows and roll it over from the movie into a show?
Eventually,
Okay.
like right now, who is going to be the glue for everything is Rick Flag Senior, who is played by
I think I got his name.
now I'm stumped on the name.
Oh, I lost it. I had
because
some Italian name.
Yeah, he was in the Marvel movies. But yeah, he played, I think, Crossbones in the Marvel movie, the one that blew up. But Rick Flag Sr. is going to be the glue because he's going from Superman to now the Peacemaker show.
Okay.
And that's the thing too, is that Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner Green Lantern, they're going to be in the Peacemaker show too. So there's going to be they're all going to be interwoven within that timeline.
Okay, that's pretty cool. You mentioned Hawkgirl, Isabella Merced.
Who's from Cleveland.
Yeah, I was going to say, who from Cleveland, represented the city well. And how does I thought Hawkgirl was normal. How does she fly? What is Hawkgirl's story? Those wings make her fly?
Well, she's Thanagarian.
Thanagarian. Okay, is this some
I
made
know
up
too
island
much.
or something? No, this is why I'm
no,
asking. I knew you'd be the perfect guy to ask because I'm like,
No,
I don't know
it's
anything
the
about
planet.
her. It's a planet. Okay.
They're from the planet Thanagar. So
Okay.
she's Thanagarian.
Which then gives them the ability to fly on Earth, or they can fly and they just
No,
can fly.
they're bird people.
Oh, the bird people. Okay, and they just throw on those masks. So those wings are fake. They're not popping out of her back.
No, they should be part of her body.
Are they part of her?
I know there were scenes where they should be now. Because Hawkman depends on which version of Hawkman you're dealing with.
Right.
If they're true Thanagarians, they have wings.
Oh, okay.
But some of them could like strap on. That's they have like the crisscross armor, and they could strap the wings on. But if they're true Thanagarians, they have wings.
Interesting. So I'm not sure what we got there because it looked to me more like armor with wings versus popped out of her back. Because it would have been cool if they showed him pop out of her back if that happened.
Well, yeah, especially because like she's like lounging on a chair and stuff, and I'm like, where's her wings at?
Yeah, they showed her like in a bed, put with a like a towel around her when she was watching what was happening in Jarhanpur or
Yeah,
whatever. Um, so and then we'll get into more Cleveland stuff too, because that was actually really one of my favorite parts of it. So I don't know how to say his name, Edie Gathegi. That was who played Mr.
yeah,
Terrific. Edie, I'm not sure. Mr. Terrific was a refreshing, fun part of that movie. I loved what he brought to the movie. His little kind of one-liners, with the little bit of attitude, with the way he talked, was great. He was like
yeah.
the tone of his voice, kind of the almost like a 70s soul dude. Like that's the vibe he kind of put out that I thought maybe I'm wrong, but that's just the vibe I got from him.
No,
Like he just talked like that and it sounded so cool. And he was funny. I think that might have been B1's favorite, my girlfriend's favorite part of the movie.
I thought he would have been a great John Stewart Green Lantern the way he was talking because that's how Phil Lamar way back in the day from Mad TV he was the voice of John Stewart in the shows, and that's how I thought Mr. Terrific talked.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, Mr. Terrific, they've already confirmed he's got like a three picture deal signed into with
good.
a even a Mr. Terrific spinoff.
That was good. I liked him. He was a fun character for sure. Um, Metamorpho, who I didn't know his name was Metamorpho. I thought it was just Element Man. Like,
I think it,
there he is. What a cool
yeah,
character.
yeah, yeah, it's like Rex Mason, aka Metamorpho, or the Element Man. So
Okay, all
even
right. So it
in
goes
like
by
his
both.
yeah, even in his bio, it can go either way.
That's crazy. How many of those guys do you think you have?
I got a whole wall of
No, I mean, I just if you had to guess, just how many? Thousand?
what just action figures?
Yeah, in boxes.
Oh, yeah, I have
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
all. Yeah, that's funny. Um, so Metamorpho was a cool character. I really thought he was cool. I liked the way he came around from, obviously he was being held captive and had to do what he did to Superman with the kryptonite. Otherwise, his kid was going to get killed. And I love that he finally came around after Lex blew that guy's head off. That he was upset that he wasn't able to help that guy, and that
Yeah,
he was willing to potentially get himself into trouble and put his baby at risk, potentially. That was a great little scene. I really enjoyed that. So a cool character overall. When he made that son, I got a big boner. I thought it was so cool. I was waiting for maybe a different type of kryptonite. For some reason, I thought, because for some reason I thought red kryptonite made him um, like super powerful, extra. Like I know it makes him crazy and can kind of make him a little bit evil. So I don't know. I for some reason I thought one of the kryptonites makes him like can heal him faster and or something for some reason and gives him
there's
extra strength.
there's
Like there's so many
there's
different.
like there's like seven different colors. If you want, I can get my encyclopedia.
No, I tried to Google it and read all about them and all the different ones, and there were no kryptonites that would have gotten him out of that situation. It was the sun that needed to do it, so it was great. Um, Jimmy Olsen, I didn't know he was such a stud. That was an interesting twist that they added into the movie. I thought it was pretty
Oh yeah, it's
cool.
like yeah, all the chicks wanted Jimmy.
Yeah, I didn't
I think it was
understand it at
I think it
first.
was a little bit slightly refreshing that it wasn't like a gee Willikers, Mr. Kent, can I take the pictures? You know?
Yeah, and he's following him around like the little puppy. Hey Spike, hey Spike. He's got
Yeah,
his own character and his own vibe. So that was cool, and
yeah,
it did.
because they even did a comic book a long time ago called Superman's pal Jimmy. You know?
God, that's for super Superman dorks. Holy crap!
Yeah.
And then of course, though the character who stole the show, old Crypto. What
Oh,
a
Crypto is awesome.
what a cool addition to the Superman movie universe. It's almost as if how could we have done this for so long without having Crypto in it? I mean, it just seems um, so natural and so part of the whole Superman thing. And I actually never really thought of it that way until I watched this. I go, oh my god, and maybe it's because
Yeah.
of my little puppy, but it worked so
I
well
th
for me.
it took a dog lover to bring Crypto to life. And I mean, do you know the background of this movie,
Yeah,
Crypto?
I think that I got some notes here. Didn't his own dog, James Gunn's own dog, inspire Crypto? Isn't that what
Yes.
he did? He kind of used
Yeah.
the look of the dog and then made him white.
Well, well, not even just that, but James Gunn's dog Uzo
Mm.
was a rescue dog, and he just had personality, and he was a bit of an adult dog. And James Gunn's like, I want to rescue a dog, and he rescued this dog Uzo. Uzo has destroyed his house and would chase the cat around, and he's like, James Gunn would be like, this is the worst dog ever, and then it would be like, what if he had superpowers? So they filmed Uzo. He had home movies about like the whole opening where he's jumping on Superman. That is referenced from Uzo jumping on the cat,
That's
and
great.
then but they motion captured Uzo and turned him white and
Mm.
stuff, and was basically, I mean, look at it. It was is Superman's walking and he's biting at his feet, and then it's like, dude, you're tearing up the Fortress of Solitude
Right.
just the way,
Well, I love that in
positive.
that explicit that specific scene where he says "dude." He almost says the F word, which is great. He goes, "What the dude?" And
Is that
which
what?
both of those things threw me off all at once. I was like, "All right, Superman almost swore," and then he says "dude," which I'm not used to Superman saying words like "dude,"
Yeah.
which I then missed
Um,
in the first one. I saw in the second one, he says golly, which made me so happy. So he got away with the dude because I heard Superman say golly and chum, which is that's how Superman talks to me.
a big positive note, though, because of the story of James Gunn saying that Crypto was a rescue dog.
Oh
They
yeah,
said the Google searches of Superman and dog rescues have spiked a lot,
I
and
saw
that
that.
people are attributing seeing Superman and going out and rescuing a dog.
That's awesome. That's I mean you got to get a rescue dog. It's only like it's the only way. It's the only way to go. I have mine. I love mine. We rescued mine. It was fantastic. Disaster says, don't forget about the blonde reporter with the huge hoots. Huge hoots.
Yeah.
Cat.
Oh no. Yeah. Kat Clark or whatever her name was. Yeah. Those that cleavage came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. It was like it's like, why are you at the Daily Planet? Because you've got a couple Daily Planets trying to escape from that blouse.
Couple Daily Planet Globes there. Um, yeah, no, I thought she was I don't know. She was pretty. She was cute. I don't know. I didn't know what she added to the
Yeah.
movie necessarily, other than a set of.
She daily she added Daily Planets to the story.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
was it.
Um, let's see here. So let's talk a little bit about Cleveland, man, and how much Cleveland was prominently displayed in this movie because they turned Cleveland into Metropolis for this movie. They added all kinds of signage and all that kind of stuff, and everybody went downtown and were able to check it out. And my kids,
Yeah.
when we went to go see it, they were like, "Oh my God, I was there when that happened. I saw that. I saw that." So that was really cool. Um, I would say when I kind of mentioned this earlier in a previous episode that it was if you would have put a Cleveland news graphic up on the screen while we were watching it, it would have literally just been like watching we were at home watching the news. That's how much Cleveland is prominently displayed in this movie. It's unbelievable to me. Um,
Well, everything that I've seen of James Gunn's interviews was that James Gunn was like, I've never been to Cleveland. He even admits he didn't know Siegel and Schuster were from Cleveland. It
really,
wasn't until after the fact. A lot of it was the tax breaks. It's like, and he knew that, Avengers was filmed here and Winter Soldier was filmed here, and you have the Ohio tax breaks. Well, the first thing he did was when he came to Cleveland to do scouting, he was in love with all the Art Deco of downtown with Public Square and the Terminal Tower. I mean, look how many scenes of Terminal Towers
Hmm.
and the arcade and I mean, you figure between Superior and Euclid, between Public Square to East Ninth, those are almost all original buildings. And then he was like, once he found out Siegel and Susser were from Cleveland, he was like, okay, yeah, this was destiny. We were supposed to film this here.
That's great. I thought he just already knew that, so that's even cooler. What a
Nope.
great story. Yeah, the public square scene with the kaiju or whatever the hell kind of monster that was awesome. It was so cool just seeing all the public square, it was just like being at home. It really was like being at home and like sitting on watching TV going, holy shit, there's a monster in the middle of public square. Like that's what it looked like. It was unbelievable.
Don't blow
Uh,
up the Key Bank building.
yeah, right. Leave it all. We gotta just go crush the Brown Stadium because we're getting a dome anyway. So it says here's
Thank
some of the
God.
places. Yeah, right. I know.
Side note, thank God we're getting a dome.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Sick of cold games. Um, East Ninth, they did a high speed chase sequence on East Ninth. The Rockefeller Greenhouse that was used as backdrop for Kryptonian flashbacks. I didn't realize that. Cleveland Board of Education building doubled as the Daily Planet. There was a nighttime fight scene between Superman and intergalactic mercenaries that happened down in the flats. Edgewater Park, Lois and Clark had a romantic moment there. I don't remember that. At
I remember
Edgewater.
that. I know they used what Highland Park as that was the base camp for the Sentinels, and then that portal.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that was Highland Park.
Okay. Where is that on the east side? Is that out? It doesn't matter.
Probably
Who
some
cares?
Edgewater type beachish.
That's what I think they mean by Edgewater Park. I think it's one of those or something like that. So, um, let's talk some. Hold on one sec. I got a bunch of notes here. I'm just checking in um my notes. One of the questions I had here was, um, would Batman have solved the problem of this movie in about 5 minutes, or or would it have taken him the Superman? Like, because Superman essentially never figured anything out. He just went with the flow the whole time, got his ass beat, and then at the end he just happened to, well, it just stopped. Basically, he didn't really stop much of anything. To tell you the truth, it was
Well,
like,
I mean, I have the specific analysis that I've come up with that
okay,
we can get into
a specific
later, or
analysis
if you were
of the
still
whole
going.
movie, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like what it means. You
Well,
know,
yeah, lay it
I
on me. Go
you
ahead.
know, um, it's a battle between being a real man and being a toxic man. That I've come up with this where it's the Fight Club of superhero movies, meaning of like what's a man supposed to be, and the two examples you have is Superman and Lex Luthor,
Mm-hmm.
and Lex is the typical definition of like toxic masculinity. And I know people want to like, oh, Superman's woke. Superman's always been woke. He's been kind, but it was like, what makes you a Superman? And Lois was like, you see the beauty in everybody. You're
Mm-hmm.
kind, you know. I think it's with what is going on, not just even in the United States with divisiveness and tribalism, but just around the world. It's like it's punk rock to be kind. It's punk rock to think of your neighbor. It's punk rock to you know see the beauty in things. It's
Mm-hmm.
not punk rock to be a bully. It's not punk rock to start a war. It is not punk rock to be an asshole. It's
Mm-hmm.
punk rock to be Superman. And I think that's really what the movie's about. And when you look at it in the same way, like I said, the reason why I bring Fight Club up, because that was a commentary of what men have become. They were so worried about like what they could get from IKEA and the color of their cornflower ties and stuff like that. And it was like, no, men need to go back into what's it like to take a punch. So what I mean by it's the superhero movies of fight, Fight Club of superhero movies, is that it really, when you watch it in the eyes of like, maybe take your sons to it,
Mm-hmm.
and be like,
Oh, I
see,
did. They came.
that's what I'm, you know, but well, I'm saying in general,
Right.
guys out there, take your sons to this movie and talk about that. No, being kind, you know, you could still kick ass. You don't let people bully you around. You can still kick ass, but it's okay to make mistakes and be unsure of yourself. But it's ultimately you can still be Superman and 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 question your, you know, kindness and you know, I'm rambling now,
No, no, it's
but
all.
it's
I
that
understand your
what
point. I
but what
understand your
makes
point.
a Superman?
Right. It's not
What
his
makes a
powers. It's
Superman?
not all that stuff. It's
Right.
the way he treats
You know,
people and the choices he
it's like
makes.
it's like if you got to kick ass, you got to kick ass.
Right.
But maybe that's not the first move is to kick
Right.
ass. Let's figure some stuff out, and at the same time too, love the fact that you know being kind is awesome, and that's why when you would see like Dean Cain and all the Fox News people, oh, Superman's woke, and the huge immigrant stuff. It's like, dude, have you not? Superman is an
Isn't
immigrant.
it great? Right. That's the whole
He's
thing.
literally he's literally from
Buddy,
another planet. He's an
buddy,
illegal alien.
buddy puts America first. So, that's for sure. Truth, justice, the American way, baby. No, anyway, what was I just gonna say? Easter eggs. I'm sure that you did a much better job noticing the Easter eggs than I did. Um, I mean, the most obvious one, I don't. It's not really an Easter egg. It was a surprise with Supergirl showing up. I had no idea that was coming. That was
Oh,
awesome.
that was a fantastic surprise.
It was.
I was waiting. Like, were they going to use the movie to announce Batman? Because I think Batman was cast. I'm not sure. I should know that. But I thought maybe they would, you know, Batman. But the fact that it was refreshing that Supergirl showed up because her movie comes out next year.
Hold on, I'm trying to open up this damn picture, but it's fighting with me for some reason. Why does it keep trying? It keeps trying to open this picture with Photoshop when I'm trying to show you this picture. All I got to do is click it. It's in your damn text message. I don't understand what it's doing here. Here, let me just try to move this over here. Maybe it'll fit. No, that just screwed everything up. Screw that. Oh well. Look it up. The lookout poster here. I can't really show it because it has everybody's text messages and phone numbers in there, so I can't pull it up. Anyway, so Craig, do me a favor. Talk a little for a second. I have to go to the bathroom, and I know we got to wrap this up here in a minute, but let me go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll catch up to you in a sec.
Well, I wish I had access to questions. I would answer questions from the audience, I guess. Dom's not sophisticated enough to give me the question and answer sheet. Anyway, it's like the awkward moment. But yeah, so you had the tea craft. I got all the toys. You can see in the background my love of Batman. I mean, I grew up watching Adam West and stuff, but what got me back into Batman and superheroes was the animated series. Um, I have a whole Batcave. Dom has been into my basement and with his jaw dropped. Um,
Kyle, my back teeth were floating. Whew. All right, sorry about that, guys.
I,
Okay.
I, I said I wish I had access to the questions, but
Oh,
you're not that you're not that sophisticated in the podcast to share questions with your guests.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I do have, well, really, there were more questions for me to ask you, I guess. But if you got questions for me, lay them on me because I know well,
No,
one
I'm
of the things,
talking. Don't you have a chat thing where people are
yeah,
asking questions?
yeah, I do have a chat. You actually, I don't know what your setup is there, but you actually have access to the chat through, like if you pull it up on another screen or something on your phone or I don't know how you do
Oh,
it. Yeah, it probably
oh,
wouldn't.
like
Yeah, if you literally just go open up like you're watching it on your phone, you could see all the chat.
Oh,
So yeah, so
with
I
like
meant,
on YouTube.
yep, yeah, just like if you were watching the show on YouTube, you could just look at the chat.
Well, you should have
Um,
told me that.
I didn't on purpose because, well, first off, there's not a ton of people watching live because they don't want to see the spoilers, so I knew this would be, people will catch up to this afterwards. Um, but I don't want, purposely did that because God love him, Mikey would get so distracted trying to watch the chat that I couldn't have a conversation with him sometimes. He would get really distracted by the chat because it is like I even get distracted by the chat sometimes because it's just, when it starts going, it really,
Yeah, I see it now.
yeah, it can go, it throws me off. But yeah, there you go. So if you guys have any questions for Craig and I, please put at Another Dumb Show and ask the questions in there for me. Like, Disaster is the one who
See,
tagged me and he brought up the
see,
Hooters.
like,
So
yeah, yeah. See, like Superman, I have to take my glasses off to read.
yeah. Oh, dude, trust me, I'm starting to feel the effects of that. So I had LASIK years ago, but over time the
So did
LASIK
I.
starts to wear off, and you need to
Yes,
get
I agree.
you either got
Yeah,
to
I had it
switch
about 14.
either you got to
Yeah,
switch to glasses,
actually,
right? Is that what you had to do? They started to wear out, and you had to go to glasses.
yeah, I had LASIK about 16 years ago, and I noticed in about year 13 that I was going from DVD to VHS in sight. Um, but then when I wore glasses, it took me to Blu-ray because even with LASIK, it only gets you to like say 2020,
Mm,
but glasses can take you over. And I liked seeing more crystal clear. So I don't need a super strong prescription, but
mm.
it's enough to take me from um, DVD to Blu-ray, so to speak, is a good way the resolution I can see with my eyes.
Yeah, I made the mistake of going back for the touch-up surgery in one of my eyes, which did great as far as getting me back. I'm like 2010 almost, I think, in this eye. Actually, it's pretty crazy. But I've lost all my reading up close in this eye. That's the
Yep,
when you get that touch up, it takes away your up close vision. So I'm
yep.
not happy I did it. As a matter of
The
fact, I actually wish I didn't do the. I was
yeah, I
depressed. I was actually depressed for about a month because I was so upset that I did it and lost that up close vision. And when I could have just put on a pair of glasses. So
yeah,
not that
yeah.
the
I
LASIK
had that.
people did anything
I
wrong. It was
Yeah.
stupid. I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I had an astigmatism and I was really bad. So that balance, if you see horribly away, you're up close is like I could read like the fine print, like the microscopic stuff that you'd have
Yep.
to use like a magnifying glass. I could see that with my bare eyes. But then once they balanced it, it took away in order to give it to that.
Yeah, it sucked. It sucks.
That's
I was a bummer, man. I really am upset that I did that. So anyway, Mike, or let's see, Mikey, Craig. They're just some basic general questions. Did you actually like Superman in this movie? Just because I don't think I really heard your thoughts
yes.
on. Yeah, you
Yes.
like, yeah, overall great
Yeah.
Superman. If we
It
rank
was
him
it
as
was
far
re,
as,
it was re, It was refreshing. It was like a middle ground between Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill.
yep,
It wasn't too like, oh, golly gee Willikers and yes, oh yes, Miss Lois, as it was a good and it was a balance. I think it was he needed to be kind and when he needed to, and he needed to kick ass at the same time too. Just like it said, Superman's only been Superman for 3 years now.
right,
So this is after him being, if you want to take TV shows like Smallville is over and all this stuff. He's in Metropolis, and he's only been Superman for 3 years.
right.
Um,
So he's
Same
still
thing with
learning.
like the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
That he was Batman for 1 year. So it's like we don't need the origin. Let's see how they are 1 year ago. So it was still I mean, Superman's still in his infancy. So you figure he's 33 years old. Um,
Still learning how to
And he's still
fight.
trying to figure out what it is to be a superhero.
Yeah. We did skip over the suit. Suit was great. Love the suit
So
combination
it
of
was
all
great.
the. Yeah, I hated it off in the random pictures that leading up to it. But whatever they did in post production, they made the suit look great. I
Yeah.
loved it. Loved the trunks. Loved
They
the belt. Loved the boots. It was awesome.
yeah, they tried to do homage to a whole bunch of different Superman outfits.
Mhm.
So the obvious one is the S. The S is from Kingdom
Kingdom
Come,
Come, right?
Alex Ross's Kingdom Come, but the yellow was from like the original. The yellow color was the same color they pulled from the original comic book. It has the new 52 lines, like the
The
lines
collar,
patterns
mhm.
with the collar, um, and
The
they
yellow
were
S
still
on the
debating on
back.
Trunks. Yeah, and they were still debating on Trunks in, Trunks out, and it was David. He was like, "We got to go Trunks out." He's like, he needs to make it. I'm paraphrasing, but it looks goofy seeing the underwear, and that's kind of the point. He's this all-powerful kind of being who doesn't take himself seriously, and him being kind of goofy looking allows kids to come up to him. Like they
Yeah,
don't he doesn't look like some god. He looks like a comic book character.
yeah,
So kids would they wouldn't be, you know, they would like that he approached them. And look at how many positive moments with the kids, in there. When Superman he's flying through and he gets stomped the kaiju you know squishes him in the ground and he's comes up underneath the concrete and he
yeah.
flies out. The first thing is his little black girl. Yay!
Yay! It's great.
And the little kids from Jaranpur, you know,
Oh God,
it's one of those things that like when you hear like the military guidon bears, it's like, oh, you can't take our flag. The fact that they had the Superman, flag,
flag.
and he's just like, come on, please, Superman, please, and it was like that's Justice Game came and he goes, Superman's so busy, so he brought, consider this
He
an
got an
upgrade,
upgrade.
kid,
Yeah,
and he's
that
like,
was great.
you know,
Spits his
but it
gum
was
out and
still,
goes to work.
but it was still the hope, kindness, and hope. That's what you know. Just
Well,
that's
there was
that. Like I said,
that mirrored a scene from Man of Steel. There was, if I'm not
oh yeah,
mistaken, there was another scene in Man of Steel, which I'm assuming they took right out of the comics and they both put it in. But
yeah.
yeah, same
Well, it was
idea.
like
Where
in Man of Steel, it was the like the news caption was that Superman saved like hundreds of thousands of people from an earthquake, and when he's like they have the camera on him, and he's just, he's got, that worried, a little bit worried look on his face, but you see all those hands trying to
yeah,
touch him,
was
like
he in
thank you
Mexico
for
or
being here.
something like that? It was like the Day of the
Yeah,
Dead
yeah,
kind of scene and all that. Yeah, so
yeah,
that was awesome. Um, I I have to say though, I think this is my favorite Superman movie. As much as I loved Man of Steel, this is so different and encompasses so many of the things that I'm looking for in a Superman movie. Um, so I really believe this has become my favorite Superman movie because
yeah,
man, I didn't think anything was
yeah.
going to top Man of Steel. I really didn't.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
they're not
think
going to be able to top that.
Yeah, I think Man of Steel was more of an analogy of Jesus. Like there's very very religious tones with
Oh
Man of
yeah,
Steel, and I think the way Superman was treated in that movie was like let's pretend it's not Superman and let's pretend it's Jesus, where this wandering guy is going around performing miracles, and you don't know who he is. He's performing miracles,
sure.
and he
Shirtless and with a
questions
beard.
himself,
Yeah,
and it's yeah, and he questions himself, and he's almost like, you know, the story with Easter where he's in the garden and he's being tempted, and he's like, why, Father, have you forsaken me? Why am I going through this? It was the same thing that the Henry Cavill Superman was going through. Talking to his hologram dad. It's
yeah.
like why am I here?
Mhm.
And
And then
that's
that's when he
where
comes out.
that
He flies out of
oh yeah.
the thing,
Oh yeah,
literally straight up
totally
Jesus. He's straight up
oh yeah, he
Jesusing,
totally
flying through
goes
the air
yeah,
like he's being crucified. It's crazy.
right.
Yeah, if you
I
missed
think
that, you're a
I
dummy.
think yeah, I think that's where the comparisons were, where Zack Snyder wanted to use the American mythology of superheroes to mirror mythologies of other things in the world and be a little bit more deeper. And I think that's where people didn't like that. This Superman brings it back to like the George Reeves uh, TV
TV
show
show,
and
sure.
the
Max
Superman
Fleischer,
animated series.
the old
Right. It's like,
original Max
let's get
Fleischer
back.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back to basics. Yeah, this is a cool idea, Zach, but people want basic, so to speak. They
Yeah.
want, what makes us love Superman is, you know, faster speeding bullet, more powerful locomotive. He can stop the bad guys, and at the same time, even though he may hold up a building and save people, he'll still go save that stupid cat. You know, he'll
Yeah.
still go he'll still go save a squirrel. And even though the kaiju is destroying or trying to destroy Metropolis, Superman's still thinking, well, we could put him in a zoo. We could study him. We could euthanize him a lot nicer than, grenades in his
Blowing up
stomach.
his belly.
You know, and I think that's what people wanted. Just, a little bit more. The world needs a little bit more wholesome nowadays,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and a little bit more kindness.
And a little tiny bit of hoke and cheese without being overwhelming with it, I think is, and you got to have
Yeah,
that with
yeah,
Superman, and you just have to. I
yeah.
mean, it's
You don't got to go all the way to Adam West Batman. You don't got to turn the dial that far back.
right.
But let's, you know, because even with Captain America, like the first Captain America movie to like Winter Soldier, you went from I could do this all day, and I'm here for the buy U.S. bonds and do that stuff, but it was still like, oh, you know what, Bucky's trouble, we got to save him, and then once it got to Winter Soldier, then it got a little bit darker.
Hmm.
So I think they can do the same thing with the Superman. It's like, let me save the baby. Let me save
Hmm.
the kaiju. Let
God,
me
that was
figure out. I'm still trying to find the dog, and then down the road you can then add the dark side and the doomsdays and the brainiac and parasite and and I think the slight campiness of this universe allows for a Mr. Mitchell Spitlick. You can add an imp because, especially now that I know that James Gunn's love for Batmite, um, James Gunn wants Batmite so bad.
what is
So if
Batmite?
he's
Is that
doing
the little
Batmite,
mini Batman? Is that I don't even know who Batmite is. How do I not know what Batmite is? Who is that? An animated?
um,
I see it now. Yeah, right in the middle
no,
there by
no,
your.
yeah,
Who is
yeah,
Batmite? I've never even heard of
Batmite,
Batmite.
yeah, Batmite is a imp from the fifth dimension who is Batman's biggest fan. And when he comes to Earth to try to help Batman, he gets in the way of a lot of things. Um, I specifically got this particular Batmite
Hmm.
for two reasons. One, it's an iteration of different Batman characters. But secondly, this is the Batmite from Batman the Brave and the Bold, that comic book. There you go. Um, but from the animated TV show, Batman the Brave and the Bold, that was voiced by Dietrich Bader, was that Batman.
Yeah.
This Batmite was voiced by Paul Rubens.
Oh wow,
So
that's
when
fun.
Pee Wee Herman, so when Pee Wee Herman died, I kind of got it as homage to both Batman and Pee Wee Herman. In
That's cool.
that's why I picked this. That's why
The
I picked this
specific Batmite.
particular version. Yeah,
So you
because he
think
was
Jay
voiced by Pee Wee
is
Herman.
he going to do? You think an animated thing with him? Are you going to make a movie out of Batmite? I don't know. You think
Well,
they can
that's the
make a?
thing with James Gunn's universe. We've already got the Creature Commandos. That's very big. James Gunn's universe is going to be encapsulating
The
like
gods
not
and
just
monsters.
movies, right? It's movies, it's TV shows. He's talking video games, animated shows, like you know, as the Marvel sacred timeline, so to speak. That it's this DC Studios universe that will be incorporated with everything. But then, like Matt Reeves' Batman, that's an Elseworld story.
Okay.
So that's Batman, but it's not in the DCU. It's at
Right.
Elseworlds.
Different
So
Earth.
they're not taking, yeah, yeah. Right now, the two projects are Supergirl, which comes out next year,
Hmm.
and then Clayface is going to be a straight up horror movie.
Do you think that oh, that's pretty cool with Batman in it?
I don't know if Batman's in it, but it's a
Who's
horror
gonna
movie with Clayface.
who's gonna take down Clayface then? Because it's always Batman.
I I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Right now
Uh
right now they cast who Clayface is. Um, I mean, Batman made. Right now they just said it's Clayface and it's going to be a horror movie.
okay. All right, good. Keep us wondering. That sounds pretty cool actually. What was I just gonna go I just had a question for you and I forgot. Shoot. It'll come back to me. Anyway, we jumped past the Easter eggs and we mentioned one and then we got sidetracked into these questions. Here's one that I have that I did not see. A tribute to Action Comics #1, a car lift in the alley. Totally missed that. I don't know how I missed that. If it was in a different, I don't remember that. So some of this stuff
I
I
don't
got,
remember.
yeah, some of this stuff I got from the internet. So obviously it could be completely mistaken.
I
Um,
I the only one Easter egg I've ever seen with the Action Comics was Brandon Routh. He straight up legit was like, "There's the that even that pose when Lois Lane's Mustang is going off and he picks the Mustang up.
right.
That's the only time I've ever seen them try to recreate that. I did not see that in Superman. And as you could tell, I'm a sucker for attention to detail. I would have recognized if they did that, and they didn't do that. I don't remember that.
So I think I don't know. I think this list of Easter eggs I have is completely wrong because I don't remember any of these things.
Like what
Metropolis,
other
a
stuff?
Metropolis Museum mural that had a subtle image of Darkseid.
No.
Crypto's dog
The one
tag.
East
Did Crypto's dog tag
Crypto's
have
dog tag
19? Was the shield?
was the shield. Yeah,
Yeah. See this list of Easter eggs is all
yeah.
bullshit.
The other Easter egg was on the um, Hall of Justice. Was the mirror uh, kind of like the mirror? Not it wasn't a mural, but it was the Justice Society was sculpted on like they you could see that.
What? Oh, the way they put it into they were
Yeah,
etching it. The way they were etching it into the front of it.
yeah,
Why do you think
yeah.
they showed that under construction to show that they're still starting out as a group? They just started. They're just
Probably.
coming together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was kind of
Which I got
confused
to
about that.
which I got to which I got to tell you, I've been to that building in person, and it's like when you go there as a big superhero DC nerd,
You're like, this is
it's
it.
like okay, that's and the reason why they came through that is because that is a train station in Cincinnati,
Okay.
and down the street from there was Kenner Toys. So when they were coming up with how like the look of stuff,
Really?
the guy looked out the window and was like, "Oh, that looks like that could be a good headquarters for superheroes."
That's so cool. What a cool story. I didn't know that. Man, you know a lot. You know a lot.
Yeah,
Um, so the Supergirl popping out obviously at the end was the big, this is what's coming next, the tease Superman or Supergirl coming out next year, which I think is going to
I
be awesome.
like I like that she's Supergirl, but could be a pain in the ass teenager,
That's her
you
well,
know,
that's her whole
or
gig. Is
yeah,
she goes around the universe causing trouble and beating ass and like that's what I said to my
yeah,
son. I was like, because he sent me the same picture that you sent me. Here, I can just pull that up real quick. So, Supergirl 2026. So, for people who haven't seen this yet, here is Supergirl 2026. Look out. There she is off to the side. And
yeah.
my
I like that.
son's,
Instead of look up, look out,
it's great.
and
I
then
love it. And I love she's doing her
I just sent
thing.
you that one. I just sent you that
Oh
one.
yeah, I saw that. That's good. Pretty good with the sun behind her and everything, busting open her jacket. I like the
Yeah,
idea
and I
of her being
she
like
likes
she's mean. She
she wants
will
to yeah
kick some ass. She's not as blue Boy
yeah
Scout as Superman by any means.
yeah,
So
and I like that Superman's like yeah she likes to party on planets that have a red sun because the yellow sun speeds up our metabolism so we can't get drunk, but
yeah.
yeah, she likes to go to the red planets, the red
Well,
sun planets.
that's why I told my son, I go, we're going to get some sweet universe stuff. There's going to be stuff in space with her. We're going to have weird characters. We're going to have her kicking ass the way I want to see Superman kicking ass because that's just what she
That
does.
that could very well be the introduction of Jason Momoa as Lobo.
It's going to be so cool. That's going to be so cool. He's
I mean,
born to play. He
Jason Mo-
looks just
I mean,
like him.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. I liked him as Aquaman,
Hmm.
but he's Lobo.
Yo,
He's
yeah,
Lobo.
for
Just
sure.
just like Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool,
Yep.
Jason Momoa is straight up Lobo.
Yeah, I mean, the way they look, the way they act, their personalities are, I mean, it just fits him so
He's a
perfectly.
the long hair, the beard, the biker mentality,
Yep.
the fuck you attitude,
Yeah.
and at the same time too, I'm gonna be in the mosh pit with Slayer at the Ozzy concert.
Yeah.
Like he, you know, I mean Jason Momoa, did you see that Ozzy stuff?
No, I didn't
The
see
Ozzy
any. I
concert, the
no,
Black Sabbath guy.
don't know what I was doing while all that was going on, but everybody else in the world seemed to watch the Ozzy thing, but I didn't. I didn't. Even Brittany was like, "Did you see the stuff with Ozzy?" And she's not into Ozzy. and she,
Yeah.
and even she saw
Um.
it.
Well, Ozzy and Sharon, especially Sharon, like it took like her a year and a half to organize everybody,
Mhm.
and they specifically asked Jason to be the MC, the master of ceremonies, introducing everybody, and then his favorite band is Slayer. So when Slayer's playing, starting out with, Rain and Blood, Jason's like jumps off the stage, goes over the barriers, and gets right into the
Starts
mosh
moshing
pit
with people.
with yeah. And
And
his the
I,
videos, he's like,
there,
I'm here. This is where to be at in the pit.
I'm not a mosher. I could never do that. I'm not a. I don't do real well with people running into me. Generally, I'm
I
a
hear you.
"what the fuck are you bumping into me for" kind of guy. so, um, so yeah. Did anything else jump out at you?
I'll do a drop kick. Oh,
What'd you say? You'll do a drop
Easter
kick on
eggs. I say
someone?
no. I say I'll do a drop kick Murphy's or mosh pit.
Really? God, that's too much for me. I can't do it. Um,
Oh man, I go to Guar and
yeah, I mean, you're into that. I'm not a big, huge like metal dude or anything like that. I never have been. I like
no,
Metallica.
you like hillbilly music.
No, I like pop music is what I love. I just love pop music. It could be the cheesiest pop music. It can be country
That's
pop. I just love
and
pop
and
music.
and this is why you like Superman and I like Batman.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, not everybody can be a contrarian, you know. Uh, you know what though? I do. People like have to like say you got to pick one or pick the other. Like I honestly, I think I started liking Batman before I liked Superman. To be honest with you, when I was younger, because what 1987 is when that first Batman came out. I was when I in
89.
89. Okay, something like that. So that's right in the wheelhouse when I was like 9, 10 at that point. So it was right when I'm getting old enough to kind of get into movies and go into
Yeah,
movies and
I was 15, 16.
there you go. So it's even better for you. But I was almost too young for the original Superman. It came out in 78 when I was born.
Yeah.
So I saw that after it already kind of aged a little bit. Some of the, CGI or not CGI, but special effects had kind of
Yeah.
aged at that point.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
wasn't as big into him.
I was 5. I was 5 when that movie came out. And then short story is my mom won tickets from a radio station. I think when she used to listen to Magic with John Lanigan and stuff,
Yeah.
she called in and won tickets for the Superman premiere. And one of the prizes was she actually won not only to go see the movie, but then the record of the soundtrack.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. Do you have that, or does she still have that? That's
No,
pretty
no,
sweet. No, oh, okay,
no.
damn, that would have been a cool thing to hang on to.
But yeah, it was the
Um,
original thing.
that's cool. You got such a collection of amazing collection of collectibles. Um, I can't do that.
Well,
I don't know what
I
it
got that
is.
Cleveland poster for you.
I know. Well, I'm gonna put that. I'm actually think I'm going to put that. I'm gonna probably. How big is that? Is that like a normal poster size, or is it a little smaller poster?
It's like 11 by 14.
11 by, okay,
It's a
perfect.
small one, like
That's
11 by
perfect.
14.
So I think I'm gonna
Definitely
probably
very,
put
very
that.
frameable.
Probably put that up here because what I'm planning on doing is putting up. I really want to get the full sized look up poster. One where he's going, like he's shooting up and looking up. It's what here. I'll pull it up real quick.
The other one that's cool is that one where he's kind of like he's kind of almost a side profile, but it has it's like cut out and then all this very original Superman ish, where all the different actors are in the little squares underneath.
I've seen. I think you sent me that one, but this is the one that I like, and this is a really shitty, blurry version of it. But that's the one I
Okay,
like. I love that one. I think it's
I like.
just so cool. I don't know what that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that
I
Kryptonian up at the top, or does that say James Gunn? I don't know. It's all blurry, so I can't tell.
it's a
Um,
it says a James Gunn film.
okay, perfect. I loved it. That's gonna get. I want to buy like the full size 27 by 40 version of that and get it framed and hang that up because I already have a Man of Steel one. I don't know if I can even cut to that. Can I cut to that? Yeah, so I've got
I've
Brittany. Brittany got me that one,
yeah.
the Man of Steel one, and it's really cool. On the back of it, she wrote a really sweet little. She took quotes from the movie, um, and like wrote down like the little quotes, and they're on the back of the thing, and it says like it's not an S, it stands for hope. Pretty cool. It's a good gift. I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I think I have a 27 by 40 Man of Steel poster with all my poster collections. It's all rolled up, but it's that one where he's
Yeah,
flying
I know exactly what
and
you're
it's
talking about.
blurry. I think I have that one.
That's awesome.
I
That's
haven't
cool,
hung it
man.
up. I haven't hung it up because it's not a Batman poster.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wouldn't fit the motif by any means.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah,
I, you know,
you got all the so Batman, all the movie posters. Hell yeah, that's great. You got to
yeah.
figure out a way to put your
Then
TV just a picture of the bat signal up there somehow.
that's too cheesy. Even I have standards.
Not me. I would cover my room in that shield if I had my way. No, I think
Oh,
it's
it's like trust me. I get people all the time like, how come you don't have the Batman symbol tattooed? I go, could I just get the whole character and not just the symbol?
well, that's the thing. I want to get the symbol with all my kids' letters, with the B and a K and a S. I already have the one S, but I have to get another one. So, I definitely want to get this new symbol tattooed. I love the new symbol. I think it's super cool. I know it's based on the Kingdom Come, but the way they changed the colors around and everything, I love it.
Yeah,
I'm very happy with it.
they're supposed to be doing a Kingdom Come animated movie right
Really,
now. That's in the works.
that's pretty neat.
Kingdom Come is, I mean, when it comes to the storylines, when it comes comic book wise, I mean, the graphic novels, Kingdom Come and like Dark Knight Returns, those are cornerstones of superhero mythology.
Yeah,
And you know, I've always gotten into superheroes because it was like it's American mythology. I mean, you've got the Egyptian gods, you've got the Norse Viking gods, you've got the Roman gods, you got the Greek gods, you know, and superheroes, just like the immigrants come over to America and make this melting pot. Well, the American superheroes, who made them? Guys whose families were from Italy or Russia or Ireland or whatever, and they're pulling their gods to make their gods. I mean, Superman. The origin is mirrors Moses.
Moses.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
the
big
fact that
time, big time.
yeah, the fact that Siegel and Schuster were, you know, two Jews from the east
Yeah,
side of Cleveland,
yeah.
you know, Kal-El is, I think, Yiddish or something for Superman.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
It's yeah, yeah. So it's Yiddish or whatever the language is. I don't know. I grew up Catholic, so I don't know what the proper terminology is. But they said it was like Jewish for Superman,
It says
Kal-El.
it says in Hebrew, Kal-El super. Here, I'll pull it over here. You guys
Hebrew.
can read it along with me. It
Yeah, Hebrew. There you go. Yiddish, Hebrew.
says in Hebrew, Kal-El Superman Kryptonian name is often interpreted as quote voice of God. The El suffix is a common Hebrew reference to God, as seen in names like Daniel and Israel. Daniel, El, Israel, El. The Kal part with a Hebrew accent can be interpreted as voice or potentially lightweight. Therefore, the name Kal-El can be understood as a reference to a divine messenger or a being with a powerful voice, potentially alluding to Moses' role as a prophet, according to some interpretations. Interesting. I'll be damned. Did you? People always wonder why I don't reference. Whoops, sorry, I hit the wrong button. People always
Yeah, you're fine.
wonder why I don't talk about Superman more during like every episode. Like, why didn't you have a like Jerry Seinfeld? Every single episode of Seinfeld has a Superman reference in it.
Superman.
The I,
Well, well, well. His big reference is more of he doesn't necessarily say Superman, but there's
yeah,
that statue
there's
on
a
his bookshelf in
yeah.
the
He's got the
background.
statue. There's always a shot at some point that where there's either a reference to Superman as far as the dialogue, or there is a shot where that statue's in it, or the magnet on the refrigerator. And I think there's one other
Yeah,
thing that I can't remember, but I wanted to emulate that, and I kind of have that same thing. People don't know this. It actually says Kal-El on this screen constantly. It never goes away. It always says Kal-El. People don't see it. I'll let you look and try to find it yourself, but it says Kal-El in Kryptonian over and over and over again on the screen. So see if you guys can find that yourselves. It's actually literally right in front of your face. No, I had never pointed it out before, but yeah, you got to look for it a little bit. It's there though, trust me. Anyway, so I think so real quick, what's the story with the new Batman movie? I think we touched on it for a second. It's an
the
Elseworlds
only thing I
thing.
know, yeah, right now the only Batman movie in development is Batman, the Batman 2 by Matt Reeves, and when James Gunn was on the tour of like all the Superman premieres and on the press junket,
Yeah.
as you would say, um, Matt Reeves sent him over the script, and he was like, "Oh, I just got it. I haven't read it yet." And then, like 2 days later at the premiere, they're like, um, they're like, "Did you get the script?" And James Gunn is like, "Yeah, it's good." And someone, because of the Batmite story that he said on the Today Show, or wherever, they're like, "Is Batmite in it?" And he's like, he smiled. He's like, "It's good, it's good," and then just walked away. He wouldn't delve into what he read. Just that what he read was good, and
That's
I
funny.
loved the Batman. I loved the Batman.
It's a pretty.
That was a combination of
It was an
that was a combination of a
interesting.
few things.
Well, I actually.
But like Bat,
I was interested. I don't think we ever really talked about your thoughts of that movie. I thought he was so angsty. It was like watching Kurt Cobain play Batman. Is what I felt. It really like. I know that's the common criticism of it, but
sure.
that's just what I came away
Well,
from it. The story was great. Story was
it's
great. Batman was
yeah. I
cool.
love that it was an actual. I love that it was an actual like detective, like Batman noir, very detective, and
Yeah.
the fact that he had the voiceovers, like Gotham, and he's talking
Hmm.
that voiceover as you're introducing Gotham and the crime that's going on and everything, which basically what he was the voiceover was his journal as he
Hmm.
was learning, where at the beginning of the movie, he's like, "Who are you?" And you're normally, "Oh, I'm Batman." And he's like, "I'm Vengeance." And then at the very end, when one of the Riddler goons said, "Hey, I'm Vengeance, because this is what we're doing," he's like, "Wait a minute, no, is my vengeance the same as their vengeance?" So when someone asked him who he was, he goes, "Oh, I'm Batman." He's like, "I'm no longer Vengeance, I'm Batman." And you got to understand, this is like Batman year 2. So where Superman in the Superman movie was Superman year three, he's still learning, and Alfred's trying to help guide him and stuff. And just dude, that Batmobile is ass. I'm a sucker for American muscle cars,
That was a
and
pretty
the
cool
thing
car.
that roars like in my you've been in my basement, my home theater. That car and that whole scene with the penguin and stuff that shakes my basement. I loved what they did with the Penguin TV. I mean, the fact that Colin Farrell won for the Penguin TV show on HBO Max, that was a great, almost very Sopranos
Hmm.
ish,
I actually,
um,
I didn't get into that. I couldn't watch it. I started watching it and it
because you're
just
into
didn't.
Superman, man. You're a big dork that likes Superman.
I know, I
Yeah,
really am.
I bet you watched like Lois and Clark and Smallville and all that
Smallville,
crap, right?
Smallville, I would credit Smallville for being the thing that really turned me into a Superman fan for the most part.
I
Because
got it.
I, well, it started, and I mentioned this a couple episodes ago, it started with that S, my own vanity. I was obsessed with the S because my name is Sean. My last name starts with an S. So it was just the vanity of the whole thing with the, wearing my, the S on my chest. I had a hat with an S. And then I
I
kind of
hear you.
started watching Smallville, the Superman the animated series I'd always been watching. Um, and then I started to learn a little bit more about what Superman represented. You know what I mean? Like what we've been talking about and his battle between. Because the reason I love Superman is this whole movie like what his parents sent him to do according to this movie is why I love Superman. He has this choice. He is the most powerful being in the world. Should he decide that he wanted to absolutely take over and rule the world, he could and would, and nobody would stop him. And that's just all there is
No,
to it.
Batman would with a green rock.
He'd try, but he'd figure it out. Superman figure out some sort of ledge suit or something. He'd
No,
figure it out.
nah.
He'd figure it out.
I'll let you live in that delusional world.
But well, that's just what. But my point is, he has the
Yeah,
choice to try to do that, even if he
yeah.
doesn't
What?
accomplishment. He has the choice to try that. But he has decided that he wants to use these powers for good and save chipmunks and squirrels and shit like that, which is ridiculous. But that's
Yeah.
what really hooked me.
Like,
And to get
yeah,
into this character is he
yeah,
could be
and
so
and I could
bad.
see that, and I could see that same love with the way Chris Evans portrayed Captain America. That same way, it's like, listen, I could do this all day, but just the wholesomeness,
Yes, yeah, I
the
love it.
the
I love it.
the boy scout. And there's nothing wrong sometimes, I know the conservatives like really like, oh, American values. Okay, whatever. Superman has American values.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
Superman has family values. And you know what Superman's values are? Not only making sure your friends and family are taken care of, but so is your neighbors. Welcoming people. That's the Superman way,
That's
you
for
know.
sure. That's for sure. So, all right, dude. I feel like we've been talking for a while. I know I know you worked all day. You working tonight too?
No, I'm
Yeah.
seeing Ghost.
Oh, that's right. That's right. What is Ghost?
Yeah.
Is that a band? What is Ghost? What?
Yes, it's a band.
Oh, I just
I
learned
would have
about
seen
that
them.
band last night. They have a song
Yeah.
called La
Yeah.
Crima.
Yeah. There,
I
there was Mother Mary on a Cross. It's my first time ever seeing them. I heard they put on a crazy show. I would have seen MC Chris tonight, but I bought Ghost tickets. So me and the kids, we drove to Pennsylvania to see MC Chris last night. So
you've had a
so
busy
we could see
busy
Ghost tonight.
busy. All right, so here's a picture of La Crima. Here is and I it's what a weird coincidence because I'd never heard of this band before. But last
They're
night at
like,
karaoke, a girl came in and she is all gothed out, neck tattoo,
yeah,
like and everything. And she actually sang this song last night at karaoke, which is what a weird coincidence that you're going to see. I
yeah,
never even heard of this band before.
yeah, Ghost. Very uh, religious undertone, like not like God, what's not like Creed, which is like, very religious kind of based ish,
Right, 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 right.
but it was just, but like how much Marilyn Manson uses religious symbols in a lot of his shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Ghost kind of used to do. I think they're, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're like Norwegian, and the one guy Papa, he comes out, he's got the whole sometimes the papal hell hat and the gowns and stuff, and um, like I
I
said,
thought
I've
I
I've
had a
I've
picture.
watched one of the,
Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, Ghost. Like if you
There it
Google
is. There's the
Ghost and
picture, actually.
Papa,
There it is, right there. How fucking crazy is that?
there you go.
There he is in his whole Pope
And they
outfit.
they do kind of like goth rock anthem shows. Like the show, I can't even. They want people to enjoy the show. Like this is one of my first shows. They have to put your cell phone in a bag. They don't want
Ooh,
any recording of the shows and stuff.
interesting. So they're
Yeah.
doing not they're not just singing songs, they're doing whole performance art and stuff up there. They're putting on a show, which is
Yeah,
great, which is pretty cool.
it, yeah, yeah. They did a movie which you can go and you could buy it like on not a movie but a concert movie um, called Right Here Right Now, but it's RIT, right
Yeah,
here right, but
I get it. Yeah, like a religious
RITE.
rite. Yeah.
um, right, and that's on like Voodoo, Amazon Prime. You can buy it or rent it, which is like their show, and it's very like Trans-Siberian Orchestra esque.
Phew,
You know,
that was not my
you see
favorite
what I'm getting
show.
at?
Yeah, that was not my favorite show.
And
Ooh, that was fucking
yeah,
torture.
we just went last Christmas. But I'm saying, but it's like big,
Productions.
stuff and
Yeah.
product. Yeah, there you go. Very high production value with their show.
The opposite of what I saw
So
at the Luke Bryan concert this past weekend, which was
hillbillies.
a sick old man on stage trying to sing. I felt so bad for this guy. His voice was so tore up. He had no energy. He really should have canceled the show. It was bad. So, all right, you just think it was bad because it was country music. I just think it was
That's
bad because it was
hillbillies.
bad perform. Oh,
Oh
there are
man.
plenty of hillbillies there. There definitely were. There definitely were. I did. Speaking of hillbillies,
Go and
I
go enjoy country jam.
yeah. I speaking of hillbillies, I did think it was interesting that they made Clark's parents more hillbilly-ish versus farmer-ish.
Well, well. Didn't you see the video I sent you?
I don't
There's a
know.
story behind that. There's a story about how they talk, which is if you listen to the Howard Stern show,
Uh huh.
one of the two big knuckleheads on the show are Sal the stockbroker and his buddy. Now I lost his name. The Richard. So Sal and Richard are Howard Stern's two biggest knuckleheads,
Yeah.
and James Gunn knows that Richard is from Kansas and was like, "Hey, Richard, do you mind if I call your parents and talk with them?" And and he's like, "Yeah." So his parents, Richard's parents from the Howard Stern show, um, started sending James Gunn just like tell me a story, you know, so I could hear the twang in your voice, the vernacular you use, your Kansas expressions and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and like I said, I believe I sent you that video,
I
and
don't think you
so
did, dude. I don't think you did.
yeah, so like when Richard's talking to Howard Stern about it, he's like saying that he's crying because when he's watching the Superman movie and he hears Mom, Pa Kent, he's like, he hears his mom's voice. And then on the red carpet, the actress who plays Martha Kent talked about like how, oh, she's like, I had these recordings from this really sweet lady. I would listen and listen and listen to them so I could get that like inflection and the twang and the jargon and stuff. And she's like, I lived those recordings, so it kind of backed up with what Richard was telling Howard Stern about. But yeah, um,
That's crazy.
it was on one of the Howard Stern like Facebook reels, and I know I thought I sent that to you.
I
Maybe I
was
sent it to you on your
oh
Facebook
you,
Messenger and not your message.
that could be, that might be why. I'm so bad at social media and checking messages and answer and replying to messages. I've got so many threads of things coming in between DJing and this, and it's just like it's so hard to keep up with. And I'm not saying like I'm popular. I have so many people. It's just there's a lot of fucking input from all these sources, and I'm just sometimes I'm just like,
Yeah.
let me just stick to my texts. So,
I before we go, the one thing I want to say that I've noticed is like the cultish Snyder fans, okay? Because I would see like, well, if you like Man of Steel, you can't like Superman, and if you don't like Superman, it's because you're in that Snyder cult, and like they were gonna do like leak spoilers and all this other stuff, and it was like, why can't you just if say Man of Steel or say Batman or whatever isn't your cup of tea, be grateful at least in this nerd society that there is all these movies that we can
yeah,
enjoy.
yeah,
And like I like both. I like both for different reasons. The same way I like the Michael Keaton Batman, but I also like the Christian Bale Batman. And everyone always asks, "Oh, who's the better one?" It's like they're, in my opinion, they're equal because they were the best Batman for that time, and it was that particular vision.
and yeah, that
You know?
iteration of Batman, yeah, that
Yeah.
was if you and they're all. I mean, I can't think of any. I don't think any of them are bad necessarily. You just have ones that you like more than the others. You know what I mean? That's
Right. It's because they hit your triggers. They hit your triggers, whether it's a visual or a line in the movie that hits you just that it hits your heartstrings, maybe that one particular way. Or at the same time, too, like I said, I'm a big Batman fan, you know, but there were times in this Superman movie that even I got choked up where it was just like, the smile on kids' faces, and the kids like, "Yay, Superman!"
mhm.
And the little kid with the flag, just come on, Superman. And you see everyone just Superman, 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 just to be almost like, fuck you. It was their way of saying, "Hey, you fuckers on that other side of that fence, Superman, that's our fuck you. Fuck you, come on over. This is where hope and kindness is, and you may destroy us for temporarily, but
Right.
hope will always survive.
Yeah.
Kindness will always survive."
Yeah.
And I think that was their way. So when parts of that movie was just like, even me, big Batman fan, was like, you know, yes, Batman's better. I'm sorry to say, but you could be like, you respect the reason why people do love Superman, because this movie exemplifies everything that the Superman fans love. Because when I saw it, what the first thing I do, I texted you, "You're gonna love it. You're gonna love
Oh,
it."
I love it. It took me seeing it the second time to really fall in love with it. I don't like anything that I see or hear the first time. Like my favorite songs, hated them the first time I hear them. I'm weird like
I
that. I
hear you.
gotta grow into things for me to like them. Except
Yeah.
these T-shirts. The one you're wearing, the one I'm
Oh,
wearing, GV artwork, by the way. And I don't know if you guys, there's 7 people watching, but it doesn't matter. But GV artwork, man, they've had some fucking bomb ass shirts. I just
did
saw the one
did
that they
did
had.
you order the media? Did you
Not
order the
yet.
Meteor shirt?
I
I
was
did.
busted because I had 2 weddings that I can't, or one canceled and the one was a late pay. So I was busted, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't get the shirt right now. I got to save money and pay some
No.
bills. And then I
Yeah.
actually
I
booked the
got the
wedding,
shirt.
so I'm getting it tonight. Hopefully, it's not sold out. I'm going to try to get it actually as soon as we get off here. So, but I'm going to Superman night on Wednesday at the Guardians game, and they're giving away a Meteor shirt that night.
Meteors. Yeah,
So
they're
hopefully,
doing
we'll
two
get
things. They're
there
doing
early enough.
Yeah, they're doing two things. Everyone gets a T-shirt. The
Mm.
first like maybe 15 or 20,000 people get a Metropolis Meteor shirt. But if you bought the special ticket, you also get the Superman bobblehead, which is like Superman flying up and like saving a home run,
I think we,
like
I
stealing a home run.
think I got that. I think
You
I
had to
did.
buy the specific ticket because once you go in, there's because they do these Guardians special tickets for like when they have special like hats for high schools and like the local high schools. Like I got the Cleveland Guardians Ignatius hat, but they had like St. Ed's, and then they also do like here's the Kent State hat, here's
Yep.
the Baldwin Wallace hat, here's the Toledo hat, and then it was also too like my buddy Bill, he gets all of the Peanuts bobbleheads. So you have to get the specific ticket
To get
for
it.
that, and those are limited numbers.
I think I bought that. I'm
I
pretty
think,
sure. I think I did because I
yeah,
think that was the only option if uh, you had to go through a special page. I think because I went to the special event page and found it versus just like buying tickets for that night from like just off the page or whatever.
yeah,
Pick from
yeah.
that special section. So I think I got
I
those.
I,
I hope
I
so.
kind of like that because then those giveaways are going to the people that really want them. Because how many times you ever go to a game and people get this, whether it's a player jersey or whatever, and people are like, what the fuck am I going to do with this? I don't care about this,
Mm,
you know. And give it to people that really want like the bobblehead or
sure.
you know
Just versus just some random player or whatever. So,
right.
uh, boy, they suck right now. By the way, the
But
Guardians.
yeah,
It sucks.
yeah,
All right.
i'm
Well,
glad i don't have season I'm glad I don't have season tickets.
all so wait, real quick. Can we agree that until this movie happened and it became cool to be punk rock, Batman was just cooler than Superman, not better. But now that Superman is so punk rock and it's cool to be kind, we can agree that Superman is now cooler than Batman as well.
No, because Batman's fucking metal.
That's awesome. And on that note, I think we will wrap things up for the show. Thank you guys for watching. Craig, thank you for coming on and hanging out, dude. I know we went for a while here, so I appreciate you giving me your time. This was kind of on short notice. I just kind of brought it up a couple days ago, so thanks for finding time in your busy schedule with your side
Yep,
gigs
I
and
had
your main gig.
handyman work in the morning, and I have ghost at night. So Sean Street fit in the middle.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you, bro. Thanks for making some time. I think everybody who watched will be as impressed. Oh, did I lose you? I think we lost him. I think we lost him. There it is. That was
Sorry.
weird.
So no, no, it is Ivy. We're going to see Ghost tonight, so she was calling me like, "When are we getting ready to go, Dad?"
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, I will let you
Yeah,
guys go so
here
you
you go.
can go to Ghost.
See, see, even my wallpaper.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. How cool. Do your kids get mad that they're not your wallpaper?
No,
No,
I'm
they
not
okay.
their wallpaper.
That's good point. Good point. That's funny. All right, bro. Thanks again for coming on. I really appreciate it. Anytime you're welcome here, my dude. So hopefully I'll see you on here again and we can nerd out.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. Love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too, brother.
All right, later, homie. Alrighty, guys. I hope you guys had fun here watching our Superman 2025 review and just a little bit of BSing and all that good stuff. I had a great time with Craig. Craig's one of my good friends, and I love doing stuff with him. His kid and my kids are friends, and they play games together online and all that good stuff too. So, pretty cool situation. Good to have a good friend there, and he's always a good guy and did a great job today. I don't know how he retains all that knowledge about all the Superman stuff. It's unbelievable, or Batman, or just comic books in general. He knows it all. So I think we had a good guest on today, and I think that's gonna wrap things up for us tonight. Yeah, it is this evening at 5:30. It's already evening. So we'll be back live again. I actually don't know. I got to go dig through my schedule and stuff and kind of see where we're at. I got weddings on. Or I got a wedding on Friday. I got a graduation party on Saturday. Probably going to be recouping on Sunday. So we'll see how I feel on Sunday. Maybe I'll pop on for a little bit if there's anything going on. Otherwise, that is going to, well, sometime next week or something. Like I said, guys, new casual schedule. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap things up. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Until I see you again, I am out of here. See you.